Hello, it's Harsha again. In this video, I would like to talk about the private health insurance, which is also known as Privat Krankenversicherung, or known as in German, people call it as PKV. So, in private health insurance, you have, as I said in the previous video before, 80% of German population is with GKV, and remaining or some percentage of the remaining people, I would say the maximum percentage of the remaining people are with the PKV. So why people choose PKV? So if someone is alone and they are earning some more than 62,550, they may think, why should they pay 14.6% plus some kind of surcharge, which they may find ridiculous. And in private, the doctors or hospitals in Germany, they really like private patients, because in GKVs, for a given amount of surgery or an ailment treatment, the amount is capped and it is regulated by the state. However, in private, that's not the case. So these hospitals and all, they can claim more, and they are always paid in upfront, because it's the insurance, it's the insured person who has to pay, and then they have to claim the money from their insurance company. So that's how the private health insurance system works. And the hospitals and doctors in Germany, they really like people who have PKV, and the preference is also given to the PKV. So that's, you don't find whether it is regulated or not, it's just the preference for the hospitals or the doctors. And who can choose the private health insurance? So if you earn less than 62,550, you have to be with the state health insurance. If you earn more than 62,550, you can choose private health insurance. And if you choose private health insurance, most probably you would be undergoing a health assessment test, wherein they check if you have any pre-medical ailments or any pre-medical conditions. So that is the first thing. If you choose a private PKV, then you have to undergo a medical test in most cases, irrespective of the age. And there are, however, good things when you switch to when you are with private health insurance. The first thing is you don't pay the fixed amount. If you are alone, it makes sense to be with the private, wherein you don't spend a fixed portion of your salary. In the previous video, I forgot to mention this. Like I said, 14.6% plus some surcharge is added, is collected from your monthly or the annual wage. Mostly the monthly deductions, it would happen here. And it doesn't increase progressively. So there is a fixed cap amount which is around 680 euros. So which is inclusive of both employer and employee contributions. If you hit that mark, then there is no additional contribution made to that insurance company, to the GKK. So that's something which is with the public. But if you are alone, you may end up spending lesser and lesser insurance system. And another thing which you need to consider when you are with PKV is the premium increases exponentially with your age. So the higher your age is, the insurance company considers you as the higher riskier group, and based on that, they would charge more premium. That's naturally the premium everywhere around the world, and it's not just specific to Germany. But I just wanted to let you know. And another thing is, you have to earn more than 62,500, which I mentioned before. And the third thing is, if you are insured with the PKV, then your immediate dependents like spouse and kids have to be insured separately. In GKV, that's not the case. This is also an important point which you should consider. If you want to go with private, if you are married and if you got kids, then you have to insure them separately. It's not like GKV. And you have to undergo a medical test, which I mentioned before. And as I said before, you will be more preferred patient compared to a GKV if you are with private. And private insurance companies, there are big players here like Allianz, Autonova, and other insurance companies, wherein they offer these PKV packages. and they offer some kind of attractive offers like deductibles. So if you choose deductibles, let's say annually you would like to bear the cost up to 500 euros. So what are deductibles? So if you attend any doctor for like if you have a common cold or fever, you visited a doctor and they gave a bill of around 200 euros. So you when you sign for this deductible, like let's say 500 is the minimum limit, so until 500 it's the customer or the patient who has to bear the cost, and insurance company would not do any refund. Above 500, like for surgeries and all, obviously you will end up paying more. In that case, in those cases, the insurance company would deduct the 500 and then they would pay the remaining amount. This is a bit close to a concept in India or other countries, which is also known as copay. It's also in US also, I heard from my friends, but wherein you don't wherein the copay would be on the fixed percentage, but here it is a fixed amount like 1,500. It depends, like the more the higher the deductible is, the lesser the premium you pay, so they are inversely proportional. This is about the deductibles. And another attractive thing with the private insurance is you get some kind of no claim bonus. If you sign up for PKV and if you have not made any claims in that year, then you are entitled to some no claim bonus. That depends on the insurance company, and when you sign a contract, you have to request them. So that would, and again, that depends from the company to company. Allianz offered me somewhere close to 30% of the premium I paid. So if, for the whole 12 months, they will calculate, and then based on that, they would return me 30% back if I don't make any claims. And this is another thing. And also just consider this, that if you sign up for if you are entitled for the no claim bonus, you have to pay the tax on top of that also. It's not tax free bonus. So this is something. And how do you pay or get the refunds? So when you sign up for PKV, you have to pay the money in upfront. It's not the insurance company which would process the claim, like in GKV, wherein you just give your card and the hospital would send the bill to the insurance, to the Krankenkasses to get the money. But in PKV, that's not the case. You have to pay money in upfront and then get it reimbursed by your insurance company. In most cases, they don't raise any complaints. You can these days you can upload the bills digitally, and then you get your refund directly credited to your bank account. So that's how the process works. And another important thing which you need to consider with the PKV is if you earn more than 62,000 and you are with GKV, you can switch to private. And the other thing is not possible. If once you are with private, you cannot switch to GKV as long as you earn more than the annual wage limit, which they revise every year. So this is an important point which one should consider when they sign for PKV. It's not like I am single, I pay my premium, and when you get married you can switch back to GKV. That's not possible. You can that's not possible in normal cases. You can do it in under extraordinary conditions, like if you lose your job and you earn less than the annual wage limit. In those cases there are, and if you earn less than the annual wage limit, like you do part-time, so that your annual wage limit is less than the GKV, which this is again legally regulated. If you earn less than 62,000, as I said before, you can choose to you have to be with the public health insurance. In those cases, in those extraordinary cases, I say you would be again switching back to the public health insurance system. And there are other people, I have seen many cases where they were with private health insurances and they got married, they got kids, and they ended up paying thousands and thousands of euros. Thousands of euros just for the premiums. This happens because the health insurance system in Germany is very expensive. So you have to think before you choose the private Krankenversicherung. So in the next video, I would like to talk about other miscellaneous insurance systems and which insurance a job seeker should have. Stay tuned.